So, hello and welcome to the New Gig podcast. I'm your host, Glenn Hodgson. And today I'm delighted to be joined by the co founders of Wise Vision Group. We have Oleksandr Severynov and Nikita Kompanets. Gentlemen, good morning and welcome.
Good morning,
Hello,
Glenn.
Ben.
Good to speak to you both. Now, if we could just have a little bit of background, your personal journeys, but also Wise Vision, how you came about this and what are you doing in terms of solving problems for companies and individuals?
Oh, so yeah, Wise Vision started 5 years ago, and during this time we served a lot of industry, really, starting from automotive and finishing with blockchain. And yes, you're fully right. The hardest thing right now is to detect the customer ache, and not only from words, but detect from a numbers, because just imagine you are a company, you want to come to customer and investigate his P&L. It's a sensitive data. Nobody wants to share it with somebody, and the hardest challenge is to provide a trust. Yes, during this trust, receive these numbers and say, hey, we can improve the number, for example, 8-10% per year, improve your revenue, and this is a wonderful investment for you, because all software is investment. Yes, you invest something in scratch, and you hope that this software will improve your business metric. And this is the hardest thing these days.
And how about yourself, Oleksandr? Give us a bit of your background.
From the point of view, not about the company, but about ourselves. My name is Alexandro, and I'm Chief Sales Officer in Wise Vision, and also working with partnership management. So I work with partners around the world in our IT sphere. Let's say I'm the combining point between different companies who work with the same talents, the same IT banks, and I create the possibility to communicate with each other. So the same as we are communicating with you, we are providing new partnership, new meetings, and new people to work with, to know each other. So it's one of the point of work with. And the main goal is sales for me, of course. And I already worked in Vice Vision for almost 4.5 years.
Yep.
And willing to work it even more. So like that.
Understand. And the market is developing very quickly, and Wise Vision is there to sort of solve a lot of the issues caused by digitalization, and also facilitate the future of work as well. Can you say a little bit more about the future of work and what's happening at the moment from your perspective?
If we discuss about how is the future evolving tasks for digitalization, it's like digitalization is our 100% point to proceed with. First of all, it's globalization that leads to digitalization, and IT companies like us need to arrange every point to work with this digitalization. From first of all, it's remote work and flexible arrangements, let's say.
Yeah.
With digital tools and technologies that have enabled a widespread shift towards to the remote work. Nowadays, so it's like video conferencing, cloud collaboration platforms, project management tools. It's made it possible for employees to work from everywhere
Yeah.
to the entire globe. And the flexibility is likely to continue. So geopolitically and geographically, of course, it's depressed everywhere, and workforce can be gained from all over the world. So organizations are rethinking of the traditional offices and set up kind of hybrid model of working. So it's like it could be in offices, it could be in home, it could be in hotel, it could be in a restaurant. It's up to the talent where to work and where to proceed with the task. So from this point of view, it's the most widespread, and people, talent guys who work in different, it's not only IT sphere. They want to have
Yeah.
flexibility, and organizations and companies propose more flexible and hybrid solutions. Digital communication could also be it improved into communication collaboration among teams. So it could be like instant messaging,
Mm.
video conferencing, and real-time interaction. So, for example, if we have how to say 5 years ago before COVID, the more office models, and traditional offices have their rules, goals of company, and they undertakes performing from the offices, HR teams, uh, accounting teams, let's say
Yeah.
management teams. Everybody work together, and they their life office balance. Today, it's impossible to set up everything together, so we need like some solutions and implementing of different technologies to make it work together.
Mm.
So it's like video conferencing, real-time interaction. Also, it could be VR trainings or something like that. So in a different way, it works differently for sure, and for each company, it works in different way
Yeah.
depending on how people work in this company. So, for example, for 50 people company, it's easier to work with hybrid model where 25 people work at home, 25 people work in
Yeah.
the office, and it's easy to manage a small amount of people. But in terms of corporations, it's really hard. And COVID showed us that it's not 1 month or 2 months to rebuild the structure. It could go to years.
Yeah. Yeah, no, absolutely. And, with this kind of evolution that's underway, do you feel that corporations have already caught on to this, or are they starting to understand the evolution that is underway, given the fact that more and more talent wants to be open, wants to have more flexibility and choice, and is no longer happy with a traditional 9 to 5 arrangement?
When we speak about cooperation or a government, we also speak about security.
Yeah.
And fortunately, in some cases, it's impossible to make such conditions to work remotely and etc. With a lot of security issues. And it's if we speak about software, yes.
Yeah.
If we speak about hardware, where you need to be inside the laboratory, when you need to communicate with some details which exist, with some equipment which exist only in laboratory, and it's impossible to take it somewhere to the mountains with you. It's the same story, absolutely. So yes, COVID show us that it's possible to work remotely, but only in some short cases. There
Yeah.
is a funny analytic exactly to Oleksandr question. We have right now 40 employees, yes, and we measured their visiting our office because all our employees in the same area, but we don't have strict rules, yes.
Mm.
So in fact, during October, there was 50x50. So 50% of all employees visited office, 50% didn't. I mean that it's generally, if somebody came 3 days and didn't come 2 days, we measure it, and generally we have this stat. So
Yeah.
this is the same story, and the only one advice which I can give to you: don't don't suspend hiring a good candidate if he not in your area or he don't have a will to visit your office. It's a nonsense. Generally, according to my opinion, visiting office can improve your productivity by 10, 15, 20%, but not more.
Okay.
And this is the most important fact. You should always concentrate on productivity. The other things that we don't unfortunately have right now, stable standards about productivity. It's impossible to measure developers. Yeah, it's or some creative person. How we measure creativity? It's impossible.
Yeah, yeah, no, absolutely the case. And there's more and more technology there that's allowing and empowering businesses and individuals to make this transition to distributed and open remote working situations. And what are the barriers that still exist today, would you say, from your perspective? Because you see sort of how companies function, you offer services to organizations. So what are the kind of the barriers and limitations that are still in place today?
It could be different barriers. It also depends on the talents, because if you speak about the opportunity to choose between 9 to 5 and the opportunity to have work-life balance, let's say, talents requires a lifetime balance, of course, and professional increasingly prioritizes. So it
Yeah.
also goes to technology enablement, global talent pool. So it depends where do you want to find it, the talent. Also, you should focus on output and results. If you want only the result, you can hire anybody from anywhere, but you need to be sure that he or she can provide the result you need.
Yeah.
It depends on the need of the company, on the needs of the company. So, in terms of example, let's say one company hire 2 people from 9 to 5, and another company has a politics about remote work balance and hire somebody from New Zealand, another time, another culture, probably some connection with internet could be during the work, but from the second company, they need only the result. They need the product to be done, and they don't care if professional, this talent, do something not as they want in their office. So it's like his life, his home, he works there, and he needs to do only the result. And in this case, it could even more practically and better for the company to achieve the goals with such talents who are all over the world working on the result and provide the need of the company.
Yeah.
So it depends on the needs of the company. So I think that. So also the talents need preference in autonomy.
Okay.
So the company don't call every hour, or project manager writes every half hour saying how it's going, how it's going. We have a deadline in some hours. We have a deadline. Hello, hello, hello. It's um, being of the talent, work-life balance. They want to spend more time with their families. They
Yeah.
want to spend more time with friends, girlfriends, etc. So, and these opportunities we can see from the last year, I think, once the COVID regulations over and people came over the offices or the street, they had 2 years of well-being at home. You can
Yeah.
understand them,
Yeah.
and they used to work at home. They like work at home, so we should take the responsibility to provide the opportunity for them to make the choice to be flexible in
Yeah.
your house, autonomous, or to work just in office and do their task. In
Yeah.
this is in this point when you're autonomous, you can create. You can create. You can do something new and think out of the box. So
Yeah.
it's the main point of autonomy and flexible shifts. In terms of barriers, this is as you asked. Yes, sorry, I go to the point of the barriers. As Nikita said about the cybersecurity. So the main is trust. When our parents, millennials, and they had to go to the offices 5 a week from 9 to 5, and they have the opportunity to get company info only on the laptop or computer on their office place. So it's the only point, it's the only way to get the info about the company, about the clients you work with,
Yeah.
about some financial and marketing things, let's say. Now everything on Google Shift, and now everything is in free access for company structure. So
Yeah.
you can do it anywhere. For big companies, for companies who work with security, they need to provide mm, more security, let's say, and legal and compliance issues. So like trust and productivity monitoring. Also, some employees and employee work with monitoring. For example, if we had a full stack developer, let's say, some clients want to see work. So the tracker and
Yeah.
client can see almost everything. So it's like building relationships and effective communication. So we need
Yeah.
to require additional effort to work with this.
Yeah, absolutely. And we see this sort of the more and more use of digitalization and the changing labor markets. I mean, what do you feel about the sort of the education system? Is it giving individuals the skills, the knowledge, and the expertise they need to be entrepreneurs in the future? Is it allowing them to do this? Is it facilitating their abilities and allowing them to get the most out of their skill sets?
About such systems, there is a lot of pros and cons. And the biggest cons, probably you heard that a few days ago, Sam Altman, the wonderful chief executive officer of ChatGPT, has been fired. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
And together with him, a lot of engineers will also leave this company and will go to another companies. This exactly very close news to one news which I heard approximately 2 weeks ago, that Google hired OpenAI hired engineers from Google. Yes, and for migration they paid $10 million. In the different stocks, options, and etc.
Yeah.
And this is the biggest disadvantage these days, because you can't, you for example invest in some person, invest in his study, invest in his certificate, he become a wonderful expert, and your neighbor, your competitor, they just take this employee and hunt, and you can't take all this knowledge from him and save his expertise inside the company, because it's impossible. We are in yes, and that's why a lot of companies they invest in their employees, but very careful. It's because there is a lot of other points where you can spend your money. I mean your budget, your corporation budget. That's why probably also one wonderful reason why we have a lot of investments in military and weapon instead of investing in university and colleges.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, and definitely I think that right now, thanks to AI, education will be much more easily. If we speak about developers, if we speak about IT specialists, etc., because 20 years ago it was really hard and almost impossible. Right now we have much more instruments.
Yeah.
And that's why in the investments in your talents, it should be, but it should be wisely, and you should also, through the investment in their knowledge, you should also invest in their salary, in their conditionals. So they should have in mind a very simple topic, that they don't want to leave your company because you have wonderful conditions to work.
Yeah. So it's constant motivation, and find different things that you need to motivate them, and
Exactly.
build their links to the organization, and make them want to stay. At the end of the day, most people are pretty free. They can go where they want in terms of the corporate culture, the interesting topics, something they believe in, and also the financial means. There's so many different variables here that need to be looked at, I guess.
Exactly. You're right. The biggest investments which you can make is investment inside yourself. And according to my experience, the most wonderful talents, it's the talents who gain all information by themselves.
Right.
They don't pay for any courses. They don't waiting for organization to invest in some materials and etc. They make some steps. They learned. They were watching podcasts like ours, yeah, and they get some information.
Yeah. No, I think that's powerful.
We can say that not so many universities in the world can teach risk taking and learning from failures. So it's the main point of to be entrepreneur from the very beginning, let's say. So some argue that educational systems may not provide students with practical experience also, and no universities learn about you can't learn in universities how to uh, work with uh, big businessmen, the wealth of business, and it also requires soft skills. There are not so many universities in the world who can learn your soft skills. It goes from social, and you can learn only that. Different conferences, different exhibitions, new tasks and development of yourself. You should learn by yourself. You can study, even if you're 20, even if you're 80. So it work. It's not staying on one leg, and it goes every day, every week. New technology, new people, new businesses, new investments. So you should learn. So it's the point of life for entrepreneur.
So it's constant learning as well. It's not just saying, right, I've done my high school or I've done my university studies. That's it. It's this lifelong learning. It's constant and investing in yourself.
Yes, it's only the beginning of the university.
Recently, I stopped believing in university. Why? Because I think that world changed so rapidly. Yes, and when information become in university, it's almost impossible to be not up to date. Probably the only universities like Stanford which can allow themselves to hire the experts which work in a battlefield. Only such university can provide you some really impressive knowledge which actually in nowadays which is not duplicated.
Exactly. And so what does the future hold then, both in terms of not just the education system, but also the world of work and the utilization of technology within it? What, if I forced you to give me a sort of prediction for the future, what would you say, gentlemen?
Probably the only two things right now, if we speak about 2030, yes, in 7 years. First one, of course, it's AI. Why? Because it's like it's Web 3.0. A lot of systems which have been developed during last 20 years, they will be replaced by AI. And there is a really playground. And second one, it's an energy, of course, because AI obviously need a lot of energy for work, yeah, and that's why solar panel, electric cars, and all, everything which can replace the traditional fuel and traditional energy system. It's future.
Excellent.
And I believe that we should also go to data privacy and cybersecurity also, because with the increasing reliance on digital tools nowadays, also our data privacy and cybersecurity will remain critical concerns in future, and all over the world will take part of being frauds and scams, because even now almost 1/3 of humanity being scammed in the internet, and organizations will need to invest in robust cybersecurity and to protect sensitive information of themselves and their clients to work with. So it's a crucial part of the next 10 years, I believe.
Yeah, so more of a focus on these points. And I fully agree on all these things. I think it's going to be more and more important for have these things to be built in and buy the products and services that allow this to be protected, and data and privacy is not compromised. So I think these are very important points that we'll look at more today, but also into the future, of course. And really appreciate the conversations we've had, gentlemen, and of course the great work that Wise Vision is doing, and really look forward to hearing from you again soon in terms of the solutions that you have.
Exactly. We in our company, we specialize right now on building data warehouses, because all AI, as I mentioned, it should be trained on some data.
Yes.
The most important thing. And I believe that data, it's a new oil. You can measure it with a very simple example. Yes, you want to open a restaurant, and you somewhere in Stockholm, for example, and you need to find the proper place. Yes, and how you can find this? Very easily. We are analyzing smartphone data. Yes, you can analyze traffic of people, where they were, their amount, where is a wonderful place, and this can save you a lot of money. And the only one question: how to find suitable data which can serve your business needs, and how you can use it properly to have a competitive advantage. And that's how we can trying to help, and I hope that we will continue our work with a similar way.
Fantastic. Well, look forward to it. And gentlemen, best of luck, every success with this, and speak to you again soon.
Yeah.
Yes, for invites, thanks for your time. We'll see you soon.
Thank you.